All right, we are outside of Niyyah Coffee here in Fishers, and we're going to be shooting, yet again, Portra 800. It's just kind of the staple of my film work right now. I'm sure I'll explore a little bit further into different film stocks, but it's just the go-to right now just because I love the warm tones that Portra has, and then the 800 box speed really just gives me the flexibility.
Hey guys, my name is Shamil with Niyyah Coffee. My wife and I and a business partner, we started this coffee shop back in 2023. Started this with the intention of having a good community coffee shop because we were inspired by all the local coffee shops that my wife and I go to when we travel. And the cool thing about local coffee shops is that if you go to a destination, it gives you a feel for the culture of what that city or town is like. And so we wanted to make Niyyah Coffee just that for Fishers, Indiana. And so far we have been loving it. We love our customers, we love our baristas, and we're looking to grow and make it more of a local coffee shop for all of Indiana.
So first shot, love this angle right now because we get the menu in focus with the lights, and then also the warm tones is really gonna pop with the red espresso machine. Gotta get signage as well, and that is such a colorful banner. It would be a shame not to get it. The espresso machine, and we're actually gonna go vertical to get the light bars. Perfect. Shooting 1/25 and then probably around like 2.8, 2.4 or so. It's a little bit darker. So just kind of have to make sure that I nail focus every time. So they just made a flight of cortados, my personal favorite. And so what we're going to do, we framed up the drinks right here. And what we're gonna do is get a awesome vertical shot with the cortados in the foreground. Thought process is just kind of, to contextualize the coffee shop and like where we are. It's interesting, like you gain momentum with film and just like, you go off of your previous shots. So it's like learning how to remember your 36 exposures and like what you've already shot is something that I need to start doing more. The roll, so 36 exposures, thought that went really well. It turned out really well, I think, and just feeling really good with, the drinks that we got, and just like the cortado flight was really a good addition to it. And yeah, just excited to see how the photos turned out. All right, so welcome back to The Blend. Here to review the Niyyah Coffee Shop photos, and I sent them 35 out of the 36 frames that I took. So pretty confident in the fact that they could use all 35 shots in marketing purposes, whether that's social media or website use. And that's a really good percentage in my opinion, especially with film photography, especially when you're using a rangefinder, trying to get focus, especially filming coffee being made. So really happy on how that turned out, and also the fact that I'm getting a lot quicker with the M6 and just film in general. So for starters, the first shot that I really wanted to cover is this wide shot of the space. I really just love the different temperatures that were at play here. So you had, first and foremost, you had the natural light seeping in on the top right side of it, but then you also, had the artificial warm tones of the lights, of the string lights above, but then also on the top left. And then, you had the logo and you had Niyyah in the middle of it all. So second shot is the one of the red espresso machine, and whenever a coffee shop has a colorful espresso machine, that is a win for me. Obviously in this shot we have a ton of light seeping in the back, but then also we have the natural halation with the lights above it as well. So I think it's, again, just such a soothing image, especially with the vibrant reds and then also the halation above. So the next shot is definitely something that I want to fine tune in the later episodes, but I really just love the depth of field on this one. I know when we're starting out as photographers or videographers, we want the blurry background. That's like the one thing that we want to achieve, but especially with film, I really am becoming a little bit more intentional with, the aperture that I'm shooting at. For some reason, especially in film, people just don't realize that you could get a shallow depth of field. I think a lot of times, we see these digicams or we see these point and shoots, and it has a fixed f-stop at probably like f10 or f22. So the next shot is Shamil doing some latte art, and obviously that's something that I always look for in these episodes. If a barista can do latte art, please let me film it. So on the technical standpoint, one thing that I'm looking out for, especially because I am shooting on a rangefinder, is planning out my shots. If I know that we're going to be doing latte art, what I will do in advance is set focus based on the distance that I want it. And then I'll, once we get to actually making latte art, I'm ready to go, and all I have to do is maybe fine tune it just a little bit based on if I changed my aperture or not. So this shot has a ton of depth to it. I love the leading lines of the bar, first and foremost, and I love the depth of some of the tools in the foreground, and then also just the glow that the espresso machine has. We even have some halation on some of the cups up top from the lights behind it as well. So it does help that the espresso machine is, like half glass and half metal. So we have a lot of different reflections on it, and that just makes it so much better shooting on film just because we get the natural halation. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of The Blend. Huge shout out to Lee for shooting the behind the scenes content of this episode, and also huge shout out to Shamil and the team at Niyyah for letting us come and use the space and really just highlight it on film photography. There is plenty of episodes coming up, so stay tuned for that, including finally pulling the trigger on medium format film. So that is next episode, so you don't want to miss that one, and I will see you guys in the next one.